You're stuck right now. And the reason is not what you think. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's not that you're not smart enough, and it's not that you haven't tried hard enough. The real reason, you're using logic to navigate a life that requires faith. And logic will only take you as far as where you've already been. And here's what I mean. Logic says, show me the path and I will move. But the life you want, it does not reveal itself until you start walking towards it. Stick with me for the next 15 minutes because I am about to show you the invisible cage you are in. And more importantly, how to break it. I am 𝐵𝐔𝐘𝐒, and this is about to change everything for you. Welcome to Delusional Success Code. I'm so excited. My studio is finally together where I provide you all the codes that help me be successful, and they're going to help you be successful. Find the right plan, the right steps, the right formula, everything eventually will click for you. But here's the truth. You already know the steps. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've tried the things, and you're still stuck. Because the real reason isn't knowledge, it's belief. You don't believe you deserve it yet. You don't believe it's actually possible for you, and until that shifts, nothing else will. Today I'm breaking down exactly what belief is, why you don't have it, and 4-step frameworks to build it from scratch. This is not a theory. This is the pattern that I use myself to go from a broke single mother at 21 with no options to someone who bets on herself every single day. And I became extremely successful. Here is what nobody tells you. The world taught you that logic is key. That if you can see the path, you shouldn't take these steps. You were probably taught to be responsible, practical, and realistic. I get it. I learned responsibility at 9 years old. By the time I was 17, I was running from situations that no child probably should ever run from, carrying weight that I should have never carried. And survival wasn't an option. It was demanded of me. I became strong. I became self-reliant, logical. I followed the rules. I stayed safe. I did what made sense. And you know what? That got me a cage. At 21, I had 2 children, a 7-year abusive relationship that had become a prison for me. I had no money. I had no roadmap. Logic told me to survive, but it couldn't tell me how to grow. And that's where you are probably right now. If I'm right, you're doing everything right. You're being responsible. You're waiting for the right moment, the right resources, the right proof, but nothing is changing. And this is because you're using the wrong operating system. You think you need a better plan, and what you actually need is belief. Let me take you back to the night that changed everything for me. I was 21 years old, 2 babies alone. My parents were never present in my life, and I was guiding myself. My grandmother, who raised me, had passed away from dementia. And the person that I was with at the time kept reminding me of how alone I was every single day. Now, the reality of where I was and fear was extremely suffocating. I started to believe in my intuition because I wanted more than I could see at that time. I made a choice. Now, let me be clear. I did not have answers. I didn't have money. I didn't have a 5-year plan. What I had at that time was a decision to trust myself, to navigate to the unknown. Some nights I cried. Other nights, I paced in my apartment. I look at my children. I tell myself, I'm going to get this right every single time. I didn't have to have everything figured out all at once. I just needed to start. Now, those tiny moments started to compound. My vision started to become more real than the circumstances that were pressing me because I was doing more than surviving. I was creating. So let's talk about what belief actually is. Because most people think that belief is positive thinking, manifestation, vision board. It's not. Belief is the willingness to trust yourself before you see proof. It's choosing faith over logic. And here's what most people do not know. Belief isn't something you're born with. It is something you build. Let me show you the difference between logic and faith. Logic says, show me the path, I'll move. Faith says, I'll move and the path will reveal itself. Think about it. Every single version of your life that you've already lived, you've navigated with logic. And where did it get you? Right here on this video, searching for something more than yourself. You've already maxed out what logic can do for you. The next level requires faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your capacity, faith in the future you haven't experienced yet. I'm going to give you the exact 4 frameworks that I use to build belief from scratch. Let's get into it. I'll call these codes. Code 1 is recognizing your old self. Here's what I need you to do first. Notice the version of yourself that's keeping you stuck. That version cannot step into the life that you're being called towards. I'm not saying to shame that version of yourself. I'm saying to see it for what it is, a version of you that's doing its best in circumstances that no longer serve you. Ask yourself, what version of me am I protecting by staying here? Code number 2, listen to your inner voice. There is a voice inside you that knows what's next. Most people ignore it because it doesn't come with a 5-step plan. That's your intuition. That is your inner knowing. That is your roadmap. When logic says stay small, that inner voice says you can do this. Start trusting it, even in small ways. Code 3, stop asking how and start asking why not me. This is the shift that changes literally everything. Find someone who's where you want to be and ask yourself, why not me? Then move before you're ready. You will never feel ready. You will never have all the answers. You will never have that perfect plan. And that is the point. Action creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. You don't figure it out and then move. You move and then it reveals itself. I didn't have money when I left. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have it all figured out. I just had an inner voice, decision, and I moved. You were not born to survive. You were born to create. The version of you that's been trying to hold it all together, questioning whether your faith in yourself makes sense, the only thing standing between you and the future is literally your willingness to trust yourself. I just gave you 4 codes, 4 shifts, everything you need to start building belief right now. Here's the truth. Building belief is simple, but it's not easy. It requires support. It requires consistency. It requires someone in your corner reminding you of the truth when fear gets loud. That is why I created the Delusional Success Code podcast to be the voice for you every week. Every episode, I break down these codes deeper and deeper. I share more stories. I teach you how to apply this in real life, in your business, in your relationships, your daily decisions. If you want to go deeper, the link is in the description. But even if you never click, I want you to take what I just taught you and run with it. Here's your homework tonight. I want you to write down, if I believed it was already happening, I would, then act like it's true for 5 minutes, for 1 day, for 1 decision. That is your first step. Drop in the comments what the whisper's been ignoring. I am 𝐵𝐔𝐾. You were meant to be here. Welcome to the code.